In the serene realm of Autopia, there reigned a benevolent king named Leo. Autopia was known far and wide as a land free from strife and filled with contentment. King Leo lived in a splendid palace, surrounded by all the luxuries one could imagine. One evening, as he gazed out of his palace window, King Leo was struck by a peculiar thought. Despite his wealth and power, he began to wonder about the authenticity of his own happiness. He decided to share his doubts with his trusted advisor, Minister Alaric. "Minister," King Leo began, "I've always believed that my people's happiness brings me the greatest joy. But lately, I find myself questioning whether there might be someone among my subjects who is happier than I. If such a person exists, I wish to understand the secret of their happiness." Minister Alaric, taken aback by the king's musings, replied, "Your Majesty, you've created a realm of contentment. It's highly unlikely that anyone within our borders could be happier than you. I implore you not to dwell on such thoughts." However, King Leo's curiosity was relentless. He declared, "Dear Minister, I appreciate your words, but this question consumes my thoughts. I must find out if there's another soul in Autopia who has found a happiness greater than mine. I have a plan. I shall disguise myself as a commoner and immerse myself in the lives of our citizens to uncover the truth." Minister Alaric recognized the determination in the king's eyes and agreed, hoping this quest for answers would bring clarity to his ruler. With great care, King Leo assumed the identity of a commoner and ventured into the heart of his kingdom. As he explored the towns and villages, he was struck by the simplicity of his subjects' lives. Their laughter, their close-knit communities, and their daily routines held a charm he had never fully appreciated. One day, while wandering through a quaint village, King Leo's ears were delighted by a beautiful melody carried by the breeze. He followed the enchanting music to a modest cottage nestled among the trees. Peering through a window, he beheld a young woman named Lily playing the flute with such grace and serenity that it seemed to embody the essence of happiness. Enthralled by the music and the peace on Lily's face, King Leo pondered, who is this talented musician, and what brings her such profound happiness? He knocked gently on the cottage door, and Lily welcomed him with a warm smile. Oblivious to the fact that she was entertaining her king, she said, "Greetings, kind sir. I'm Lily, a simple gardener, and this flute is my most cherished companion." King Leo engaged her in conversation, his curiosity growing with each passing moment. "Lily," he inquired, "you appear to be a remarkably happy soul. Is there nothing in your life that causes you worry or sorrow? I am genuinely intrigued by your boundless joy." Lily continued to smile as she replied, "I've found happiness in the simplest of pleasures, sir. Each day, I tend to my garden, nurture its beauty, and share its bounty with my neighbors. When evening falls, I play my flute, and the music transports me to a world of bliss. No grandeur or riches could rival the peace I find in these humble pursuits." King Leo listened intently, his heart heavy with the realization that Lily's happiness thrived on simplicity and a profound connection to nature. Despite her modest means, she radiated an enduring joy that he had seldom encountered. Departing from Lily's cottage, King Leo returned to the palace, sharing his newfound understanding with Minister Alaric. "Minister," he mused, "I have met Lily, a gardener, a woman of meager means. Yet, her happiness shines brighter than all the jewels in my treasury. I now understand that true happiness is not tied to wealth or luxury but to the simplicity of life and the harmony one finds within themselves." Minister Alaric nodded, saying, "Your Majesty, the pursuit of simplicity often leads to the purest forms of happiness. Lily's joy springs from her connection to nature and her ability to appreciate life's simple pleasures. The king was deeply moved by this revelation, and he pondered how he might test the boundaries of this newfound wisdom. He decided to impose a temporary ban on extravagant feasts and grand celebrations in the kingdom, wishing to see how his subjects would cope without the allure of excess. As the ban took effect, the people of Autopia adapted with surprising grace. They turned to simpler gatherings, shared meals, and heartfelt conversations. The absence of extravagance seemed to strengthen their bonds rather than diminish their joy. However, King Leo's desire for further understanding led him to a bolder experiment. He ordered the cessation of all construction projects, leaving laborers and artisans without work. Among those affected was a skilled sculptor named Milo. Without commissions to sustain him, Milo was faced with uncertainty. He could no longer shape stone into works of art, which had been his passion and livelihood for years. Desperate for a source of income, Milo ventured into the forest to gather firewood for the villagers. It was strenuous labor, but it provided him with a modest income that kept hunger at bay. King Leo, donning a disguise once more, sought out Milo in the forest. He found the sculptor chopping wood with a determined expression, sweat glistening on his brow. Milo had embraced this humble work, driven by the need to provide for himself and his family. Approaching Milo, King Leo said, "Greetings, my friend. I am but a weary traveler passing through. Might I inquire about your story and the determination that fuels your labor?" Milo paused, wiping his brow, and replied, "I am Milo, a sculptor by trade, but with the ban on construction, I have turned to gathering firewood. It is hard work, but it sustains me and allows me to provide for my family." King Leo admired Milo's resilience and questioned further, "Tell me, Milo, in the face of such a drastic change, how do you manage to find contentment in your life? It is clear that your happiness has not waned." Milo smiled and shared his perspective, "Your Majesty, happiness does not reside solely in our circumstances but in our ability to adapt and find meaning in any situation. My family's well-being is my priority, and I find solace in knowing that I can still provide for them through honest labor. Every evening, when I return home, I am greeted by their smiles, and it fills my heart with joy." The disguised king nodded in understanding, realizing that Milo, too, had discovered a unique form of happiness born from resilience and adaptability. Returning to the palace once more, King Leo summoned Minister Alaric and recounted his encounter with Milo. "Minister," he concluded, "I have met Milo, a sculptor who turned to gathering firewood to support his family. His happiness, like lilies, is born of simplicity and the ability to find joy in honest labor and familial bonds." Minister Alaric understood that true happiness was not bound by wealth or extravagance but was often found in the most uncomplicated and genuine aspects of life. If you like this story, please share and subscribe my channel.